Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something super exciting. We are going to walk through a completely foolproof step-by-step guide to starting an LLC right here in Ohio. So, let me ask you, are you ready to transform your business dreams into reality? Discover how to set up your very own LLC in Ohio with our foolproof step-by-step guide. All right, here's our roadmap for today. We'll kick things off with a quick intro to Ohio LLCs, move on to naming your business and picking a statutory agent, and then we'll actually file the articles of organization. After that, we'll tackle your operating agreement and EIN, and wrap the whole thing up with taxes, compliance, and maintaining your new company. Let's jump in. Section 1, Intro to Ohio LLCs, what they are and why you actually need one.
Okay, so what exactly is an LLC? At its core, a limited liability company acts as an ultimate shield for your personal assets. Think of it like a firewall. If your business ever faces a lawsuit or runs into debt, your personal bank accounts, your home, your car, all of that is kept legally separate and safe. Plus, it gives you tons of flexibility in how you manage things, along with a massive perk called pass-through taxation, which we're going to break down in just a bit.
And you know, Ohio is an incredibly business-friendly state to do this in. We are talking extremely low formation costs and absolutely zero state-level franchise tax. But the absolute best part? No annual reporting requirements. You literally don't have to file yearly paperwork just to exist. Oh, and thanks to some recent updates, Ohio now allows what are called series LLCs. This is super cool because it lets you diversify your risk across multiple different ventures all under one master company. Section 2. Name and statutory agent. Securing your business identity. Step 1 is naming your LLC. Now, there are some rules here. You've got to include a required identifier at the end of your name, like LLC, LLC, or LTD. But the absolute most crucial thing to remember is that your name must be perfectly distinguishable on state records, meaning minor tweaks like just adding an S to make a word plural or tossing in some random punctuation, that's not going to cut it. It won't make the name distinguishable in the eyes of the state. So you absolutely should jump on the free Ohio Secretary of State Business Search tool to check your desired name before you even try filing anything. Step 2 is appointing your statutory agent. Now, don't let the terminology throw you. This is just Ohio's specific term for what most other places call a registered agent. This has to be an individual who lives in Ohio or an authorized business, and they must have a physical Ohio street address. Why? Because they are the ones officially responsible for receiving legal documents, like lawsuits, on your behalf. So no, a P.O. box is strictly not allowed here. And keep in mind, the address you provide for your statutory agent goes on the permanent public record. That is exactly why a lot of business owners choose to hire a professional service just to protect their own privacy. Section 3, Articles of Organization, making it official. Okay, get ready for some incredibly good news. Forming an LLC in Ohio costs exactly $99. That is a surprisingly low one-time filing fee. It totally proves you don't need to be sitting on thousands of dollars in startup capital just to legally protect your new business. So to lock in that LLC, you'll need to file Form 610, which is officially known as the Articles of Organization. You can do this super easily online through the Ohio Business Central portal. Honestly, the state is pretty quick. It usually takes them just 3 to 7 business days to process it. Just make absolutely sure you have your statutory agent's signature of acceptance on that form. If you don't, the Secretary of State will just reject it outright. But once they stamp that form, boom, congratulations, your LLC legally exists. Section 4, Operating Agreement and EIN, the crucial next steps. All right, first up post-approval is your operating agreement. Now, technically, Ohio law doesn't force you to file this with the state, but believe me, it is an absolute necessity. Think of it as your company's internal rulebook. It dictates exactly how your LLC is run, including your management structure. You've got to outline if you are member-managed, meaning you and any other owners handle the day-to-day grunt work, or manager-managed, where you appoint specific individuals to take the reins. Having all of this in writing is an absolute lifesaver for resolving any future disputes. Plus, the bank is almost certainly going to ask to see it when you walk in to open a business account. Next up, you need your EIN, or Employer Identification Number. You can just think of this as a social security number, but for your business. It's a 9-digit tax ID issued directly by the IRS. You're going to need this for that business bank account we just talked about, and of course, if you ever plan to hire employees. Here is a massive pro tip for you, though. Applying for an EIN is 100% free right on the IRS website. Do not pay someone for this. But, and this is a big but, Do not apply for it until your Form 610 has actually been approved by Ohio. Doing it too early can cause some major headache-inducing processing delays.
Section 5. Taxes and Compliance. Navigating the state and federal rules. $6 million. I really want that number to sink in because it represents another massive advantage of being in Ohio. Starting in 2025, the Ohio Commercial Activity Tax, or CAT, exclusion threshold got bumped up to a staggering $6 million. To put that into perspective, it basically means that most new small businesses will owe absolutely zero CAT tax until their gross receipts actually cross that huge $6 million line. That is huge for your bottom line.
Beyond that, there are just a couple of key compliance points to keep in mind. First, by default, your LLC enjoys pass-through taxation. That means the LLC itself doesn't pay a federal corporate income tax. Instead, the profits and losses just pass through directly to your personal tax return, which neatly avoids the dreaded double taxation that traditional corporations have to deal with. Also, we've got a major breaking update on the federal side of things. As of August 14th, 2026, a new federal rule actually exempts U.S. person beneficial owners from FinCEN's beneficial ownership reporting burdens, meaning significantly less federal red tape for you. Finally, just don't forget to do a little digging on any local, industry-specific licenses or sales tax permits that your specific town or county might require.
Section 6. Maintaining your LLC. How to stay in good standing.
Well, as we mentioned right at the top, Ohio has 0 annual reports. In most states, you're stuck filling out standard LLC paperwork every single year or every 2 years and paying a recurring fee just to keep your business alive. Not in Ohio. The maintenance here is wonderfully, refreshingly minimal. In fact, maintaining an Ohio LLC basically just comes down to keeping your statutory agent information up to date. That's pretty much the whole shebang. If your agent ever resigns, changes their name, or moves to a new address, you have to let the state know. You just file a quick statutory agent update, that's Form 521, and pay a tiny $25 fee. Whatever you do, don't ignore this. If you lose your agent and you don't replace them, the state can and literally will cancel your LLC entirely.
And just like that, you know exactly what it takes to start and maintain your company. The Ohio advantage is very real, and the entire process is right there for you to conquer. Now, as always, a quick reminder, this explainer is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. Please consult a legal professional for specific guidance on forming an LLC in Ohio. Your legal foundation is now set in one of the absolute most business-friendly states in the country. So the only question left to ask is, how big is your vision willing to grow? Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you on the next explainer.